what's up? This is Byron the Multiple Interest Man here, and welcome to another episode of Byron's Bios. In tonight's review, I'm going to be reviewing one movie from Marvel that just came out recently, although it does focus on a female Marvel superhero, and that is Black Widow. Now, in the movie, it's basically where you get these two females, their sisters, both Natasha and Yelena, and they live in Ohio in 1995, although their parents took them somewhere where they don't even know where they're gonna go and everything. But when they got there, they were taken by a couple of soldiers, and their parents let them get sent to Cuba just to get training in the Red Room and all that, along with the rest of the girls who were sent to Cuba, and to also become Black Widows. Their mother dies before the girls get sent to Cuba, and their father, Alexei Shakatov, played by this man named David Harbour, who also plays Hopper in Stranger Things, is imprisoned in Russia. And I gotta say, it's really screwed up if you think about it. 25 years later, Natasha Romanoff, who is, of course, Black Widow, confronts the darker parts of her ledger when a dangerous conspiracy with ties to her past arises. Pursued by a force that will stop at nothing to bring her down, Natasha must deal with her history as a spy and the broken relationships left in her wake long before she became an Avenger. Okay, so just hear me out on this. But dude, here and there's some explaining that I would really like to do. I'll be completely honest here. So there weren't any villains like that much in the film. I mean, I'm pretty sure that there were, but to be brutally honest, regarding the movie itself, it was kind of out of character, because throughout most of the plot, it had a lot of plot twists where it had nothing to do with the main character itself. Almost, where Black Widow saves her sister and where she rescues her father from a prison that he was in, which is, in Russia and everything. I'm sure there's some really cool fights and stunts and everything, but I don't know, I just rather call that average. But the storyline is just having its ups and downs. Yeah, and you see that throughout the movie if you watch it on Disney Plus, or if you go see it in theaters before it's too late. Now let's get on to the characters. I'm not gonna lie, but I do find the characters to be very likable in the film. With Scarlett Johansson, who plays Natasha Romanoff, and also the Black Widow Avenger, the same character, Florence Pugh. Is that how you pronounce the name? You know what? Whatever. I can just call her Florence Pugh or Florence Pugh. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, she plays Yelena Belova, who is Natasha's sister and also a Black Widow, but not the Avenger like Natasha is. Also David Harbour, who plays Alexei Shakatov, and he's also Natasha and Yelena's father, who also portrayed, believe it or not, Hopper in Stranger Things. Well, if you've seen Stranger Things, then you might recognize him. Well, just the actor himself, but you know what I mean. And finally, let's just talk about the action and the special effects that they put in the film. I really like how they put in visual effects that look so real in the film, especially with all the action and the stunts that the performers do. Same with the actors that have done the movie. It's really something to be mind blown very easy, especially when you look at any kind of special effects. They just put in every single effort that they put in every Marvel movie, especially in the Marvel Cinematic Universe franchise that they have, even though that they started in 2008 with Iron Man. Well, I mean, I'm not talking about the entire Marvel franchise in general, just the Cinematic Universe that just started 13 years ago, basically. Dude, I would really love to see Marvel making more movies like this, because, they've been doing it a lot, and not only that they've done a lot, but dude, they've been doing it in a very good way, especially since they're, they've been bought out by Disney. But let me tell you, it's one of those interesting companies that make a lot of great action films, a lot of superhero films, along with DC Comics. I mean, they do a really good job with their films as well. And by making today's movies more futuristic and modernish, well, just by the way it looks. And even though I never read the freaking comics, but I mean, I wish I did. But I mean, if I wanted to do it, I mean, I can if I want to, because, the comics are just so, relevant, especially back in the day. still, I mean, comics are just fun to read, but of course, I mean, I'm just talking about like Marvel in general. Yeah, sure, it has nothing to do with Black Widow in general, but let me tell you, while Black Widow is a little bit out of focus in regards to the character itself, I do find the other half of the aspects to be really interesting and just totally, like, not insane, but mostly awesome. And you know what? That's all I can say. I mean, the acting is good, especially that Russian accent that Natasha and Yelena's father has. The background music, especially the music composing, is just interesting. The stunts are really cool, and the findings is awesome. Well, I mean, some of it, of course. Actually, almost literally everything about it is just amazing. It literally blows my mind every time I see a freaking Marvel movie, like, right in front of me. You know, I was actually looking forward to seeing this film. I mean, not just last month, but like in general, especially when it was first announced and everything. It was gonna be released last year, but because of the pandemic that's been going on, it got delayed like several times, especially to this year. So we ended up seeing it this year, and we actually got to see it at one of the movie theaters in Florida because my family and I were actually in Florida last month, and wait, it was actually earlier this month. Never mind, because I saw it on August 4th along with the rest of my family, and we actually got to see the film in honor of our Disney World trip that we had. At the end of the night, Black Widow was just badass. Sorry for my language, but still, let me tell you, it could be one of my favorite Marvel movies. I mean, I don't know, but right now, I'm gonna give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. If you haven't seen the movie already, go check it out if you can. Sure, regarding the title, it may be out of focus a little bit, but let me tell you, it's just a very awesome movie that I've seen in my life. Well, I hate to tell you guys, but we are running out of time, unfortunately. Thank you guys so much for watching the Black Widow review. Well, just, in this episode of Byron's Bios. I appreciate it. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Comment down if you want, and hit the notification bell and share if you want. Also, I noticed this, but rest in peace, my dog, Louis. Even though I said it in the previous video, but still, I just want to tribute him a little bit. And, this is me, Byron the Multiple Interest Man, signing off. Wait, alright. Well, peace.